Lima, can you just say it like that again? How, like, there's a difference in perspective. Like, I know you heard John Middlecoff talking like, boy, he was like out of the league. Baker was out of the league. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and have a whole Baker show like we did yesterday. No, you don't plan on it either.
No,
but you had to get it off your chest.
Baker's been awesome. He's been fun to watch. He does lead the NFL in interceptable passes, and he's got 0 interceptions.
The Panthers played him on scout team defense.
That's right. Because he was competing.
He was lined up at D end.
Wasn't he? Oh, my God. Come on.
There are pictures of it. I saw it last night.
You got to say, please do it again. Please say it again. I beg you.
But I think people are skipping some steps here if they're acting like Baker was just amazing as a Browns quarterback, and then we threw him out the door. That's not
beat Pittsburgh, and we gave him the old heave-ho.
Yeah, like, giddy up. We don't need you. Like, no, there were a lot of things going on. When I called into the afternoon show yesterday,
oh, God.
And I wish they wouldn't have been pressed for time because I would have loved to get in the argument. But we are forgetting a bunch of other reasons why they made the move, and it's not just the locker room stuff that was in doubt. Myles Garrett didn't seem very happy with the starting quarterback. There was a significant shoulder injury. Granted, it was the other shoulder, but they didn't know, what the healing situation would be. Obviously, when the report was out there that they were going after Deshaun Watson, immediately Baker was like, unsalvageable, I'm out of here. And even after, Deshaun got turned down, is there any way they could have, come to grips of this and mediated it? Obviously, it probably wasn't. So both sides were not happy with each other. Baker felt scorn. But also, and I think this was important, do we remember who was coming off the Super Bowl that year? It was Joe Burrow and Cincinnati.
Gosh,
and that was
right.
That was so early in Joe Burrow's career that it was like, we got to deal with this for the next decade.
Because I remember, you jogged my memory because I remember your biggest argument was, we sat here and tanked it out for 2 years. They had a 1 year, like, oh my God, this is awful. They got Joe Burrow and he's already better than our guy.
Yes.
And at the time, vastly better than our guy.
Oh, not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah,
and obviously Lamar had been an MVP. Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes 4 times over already. It was tough, and Josh Allen was coming. Holy cow. And that guy was big and tall and could run around. So he could put a whole team on his back. So Baker looked, in comparison to those guys, he looked diminished at that point.
He did.
Now, if your argument is be patient, that's a lesson to be learned. Fine, I'll hear that. There's a lot of instances where you wouldn't have wanted a team to be patient, like Kenny Pickett, Trey Lance. Like, you wouldn't have wanted to give a guy 4 or 5 years. The Giants gave Daniel Jones, 6 years? And now Daniel Jones looks like he might be. It's been 2 games. Like, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, but this is a comeback of all comebacks because Keith sent us something during the break where I forgot Baker was running defensive end on scout team.
Yeah, that's what Owen said. I could not believe it.
I had no idea about that. That's right. You guys are right about that. Let me hear the Albert Breer thing if we can, please. This is Albert Breer yesterday on the lessons we could have learned.
I don't know they have the version of Baker that exists now. I do think Baker would tell you this himself, that there was some growing up he had to do. And does that happen if they pay him? I don't know. I think the second piece to it is, just the cost of doing business at quarterback. And a big part of that discussion internally for them was they had gotten to the point where, okay, like, it's time to make a decision on him, and we got to figure out whether or not we're going to pay him and give him a big long-term deal, or we're going to move on. Do you look at that and say, we should have bitten the bullet, and it's just the cost of doing business of paying a guy at that position? Do you try to get away with paying him less? Do you go through the process of franchising him, which will probably piss him off and create like a different set of problems? It's just complicated, And it's sort of, I think, kind of the trickle-down effect of taking a quarterback first overall is, unless the guy is like a slam dunk, like he's going to Canton someday, you have these sorts of hard decisions you have to make.
And I don't know if you're going to find any of those guys, really. And I want to get back into that later because I wanted to get some Guardians in here before people get into work because they won a big game last night. Let me just say this. Compared to what we've already been through, let me learn this. And I think, I'm not disagreeing with Albert here. I don't care if the quarterback's pissed off by franchise tagging him. Yeah. I'd rather do
I'm in agreement.
I'd rather franchise tag him. Like, okay, go out there and play, and we'll give you a great big deal. It'll be fine. If you're pissed off about it, and then you go out there and you suck up the room, I guess you ain't worth it in the first place. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. It's because I'm always going to use this as a litmus test in the future. Whether we're doing this when we're 50, whether we're doing this when we're 60 or 70, or never again after this week. I don't care. I will always use this as a litmus test and going back to it, comparing it to this. Where is it? I don't care about franchise tags. I would do something like they did with Jordan Love, where it's like, all right, we'll give you a little bit and then we'll give you more after like injury and playing behind Rodgers and all that stuff. I'll do all that before I do what ended up happening.
But notice, Albert said this was tough. This was a difficult decision. I think what some people are now going back and saying, this was easy. Yeah, give Baker all that money. And it's like, that's not the climate at the time. We were having knockout, drag-out fights on this exact topic day after day after day on what to do with Baker. This was not some slam dunk situation at all. And I feel like that's why I'm saying, I think locally, we all were in our confrontation and we were all battle mode. I wanted Baker out. I totally admit it. And now I absolutely was wrong 100 times over. But let's not get the facts, misconstrued. We have the tape. We may not have the YouTube videos back then, but we have the tape. We were going through huge battles on this. This was not an easy decision at the time.